Hello, everyone, and welcome to another SCJ Marketing Think Tank webinar. Today, we'll be joined by Anne Semyonova, who is a marketing manager and webinar host at Common, which is a company that really focuses on Instagram marketing, and that is what we're going to be talking about today. Basically, 5 secrets, 5 tips, basically some really good information on how you can improve your Instagram marketing success. My name is Brent Satoris. I will be moderating. And Anne, if you want to just give us a quick introduction about yourself before I jump into some housekeeping points, that'd be great.
Yeah, okay, Brand, thank you. So welcome guys on this new webinar. My name is Anne. Nice to meet you. I work as a marketing specialist and a webinar host for Combin team. I love everything about social media, about Instagram, about social media software, and so on. And I'm here today to share my knowledge with you. So I hope that today we'll have a really nice time.
Awesome. So just some quick housekeeping points for everyone before we dive in. If you are, during the webinar, you have a question, comment, concern, anything like that, there is a question box in the bottom of webinar, and you can add your questions there, and we will answer them in the Q&A at the end of the presentation. So please, even if it's during the beginning or the middle or the end, go ahead and throw your questions in there so we can start compiling those. We will do our best throughout the webinar to link any resources. If we mention any tools or we mention any resources, we will try to drop those links. If a resource or tool is mentioned and we do not drop a link or a reference, please let us know and we will get that out to you. After the webinar, please stick around. We have a really short survey. It's literally only 5 minutes or less, and we use the information every time from the survey to really improve how we do our process and how we do our webinars. So please take a moment, if you have the time, to stick around and fill that survey out for us real quick. Lastly, the entire webinar will be recorded and made available through a recap post on Search Engine Journal. So if you missed part of it or you want to share this with a colleague or somebody else, by all means, watch for that post and please feel free to share it. Without any further ado, Anne, let's go ahead and jump in.
Yeah, let's start this wonderful webinar. And guys, I promise not to waste your time during these 60 minutes. So ready, steady, go. Let's start our 5 easiest secrets of fast Instagram promotion webinar. So Instagram has earned its place in the forefront of social media marketing with its eye-popping user growth statistics and fun, user-friendly posting and interacting options. These are among the reasons why many brands and public personalities rely heavily, and some even exclusively, on Instagram to promote their products and services. The real kicker, yeah, but even if it's a great opportunity, how do you get it right? Not many companies are doing it well yet, so if you have a big advantage, if you can do this. So how do you dominate Instagram engagement? The answer is simple. Learn how to grow your followers organically. Getting followers on Instagram is not hard. Getting real Instagram followers in your niche that are highly likely to purchase your product is a slightly different story. This may sound easy, but once you get your hands on it, it becomes obvious how confusing and time-consuming user search and attraction really is. And many brands resort to using specialized applications for help, and Combin is a great example. Combin is an Instagram growth tool that provides smart searchability, automating following, unfollowing, liking, and commenting actions, as well as scheduling them according to Instagram daily action limits. So today, I'm going to share 5 tips for engaging audiences and bringing in organic followers that you need to watch out for today and put these 5 tips into practice. So here we go. The first tip for today is about your target audience. You really need to understand who your target audience is. Instagram target audience research should be one of the first things on the list when developing an Instagram strategy. Yeah, it seems obvious and easy, but still not many people exactly understand what this means. Just think about this. To produce great content, you need to know what your followers like seeing in their feeds and stories. To write killer captions, you need to know which words they found more relatable. To find your best time to post, you need to know when your audience is online. In other words, to experience Instagram greatness at its fullest, you need to know a lot about your audience first. Actionable insights into your audience interests, preferences, and behavior pave the road to a successful Instagram strategy. Of course, defining your target audience is a long and time-consuming process that requires too many efforts to be spent, and sometimes chances that your target audience is larger and even more diverse than you thought before are pretty high. So the question is here, how do you find a target audience on Instagram? Where do you even look for it? How to be sure that these are the people that are going to use and like your product? And here is the time for the first poll.
Awesome. Sorry, I had it on mute for a second. I had to unmute. So first poll, I'm going to go ahead and launch the poll up. Then I'll give you guys a couple minutes to kind of read through and put your answer. What do you usually do to define your audience? 1, complete and thorough marketing research. Cut and try method, where you just kind of try things out and take out what's not working. I don't have a certain strategy to define my audience. And again, I'll give a couple minutes just to get the majority of answers in. We have about half the people voting, so I'll just give you guys a little bit of time to get your vote in, and then I'll show the results, and we'll see. So again, what are you doing, or usually do, to define your audience? Market research, like a complete and thorough market research, or you cut and try, or you don't have a strategy. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close that out. We'll show the results. Here we go. That is a pretty evenly split. Wow, that is a pretty even split result right there. So I'll pass it back on to Anne. Go ahead and continue.
Okay, thank you, Brent. So all the same, finding your target audience can be kind of a challenging task. And here is the moment for Combin to get in the game. With Combin Advanced Search by Hashtags, you are sure to find your perfect audience just in 5-10 minutes. You can look for posts by Instagram hashtags, location, or do search with hashtag and location combination. This helps you get relevant content from potential customers so you can engage with right audience. Let me now show you an example. Imagine that you have an account of a watch brand. You have just created your brand and are looking for visibility and larger audience on Instagram. Your goal will be to find accounts interested in what you offer. For this, launch Combin and go to search, then search by posts. Think of hashtags your audience can use. It may be something like wristwatch, watches of Instagram, watches of the day, watch porn, etc. So as soon as you are done, type the hashtag needed into the hashtag box. You can also specify the location box in order to find potential customers around your city, region, around your area, etc. It's a winning idea, especially for those who are local business owners. As soon as you are done with all the settings, click Find. So when the search is finished, you'll see people's posts found by certain hashtag within certain location. You can also apply some more filters like language filter or gender filter, and after that you can start engaging just in one click. Great, isn't that? Search by hashtags helps you find popular hashtags of your topic in order to find qualified prospect really interested in what you propose on your account. So let's go to the second tip for today. The second tip for today is all about your competitors. Your competitors have the same target audience as you, and they have already done a lot of the hard work for you. So why not use this to your advantage? One of the best ways to find, attract, and build a huge following is targeting your closest competitors. And after that, stealing their audience. Because these are mostly people that have already shown some level of interest in your product or in your niche simply by following your competitors. Of course, without the help of a robust Instagram research platform, the process of attracting your competitors' followers to your account can be extremely long. But with Combin, you will do it just in seconds. Search by users is exactly the thing you need in order to implement that strategy, that tip in life. Combin search by users allows you to search not only for followers or followings of some particular account, but also for commenters and likers of this account. And those people who select likers or commenters are in the most scoring position. Logic is quite simple here. Choosing to interact with likers or commenters, you choose the most active people on Instagram. Just think of yourself. You may be following somebody, but that doesn't mean you like or comment on each of his or her posts, right? And if you like or comment on them, this can mean that you are really open for engagement. The same thing about other people. So here is the example. Imagine that I'm an owner of clothing boutique. So I want to look for, let's say, likers of my competitor. Let it be Zara shop, for example. So after specifying all the fields, we click search and then enjoy the results. So no more words about it. I'm sure you're already feeling how successful your promotion is going to be after implementing this strategy in life. So the next tip, all about influencer marketing. Influencer marketing is a growing trend within the social media and marketing sphere. Influencers can share your products or brand with their established and trusting audiences. Because influencers tend to have a relationship with their followers, a product they recommend is perceived similarly to a product recommended by a friend. When it comes to collaborating with influencers as a brand, authenticity should be one of the most important factors to consider. It's easy to get lots of followers if you really want to buy bots or buy the followers that are just dead followers. But the best influencers are those who have real followers, followers who are genuinely interested in their content. In other words, influencers who have really true influence over their audience. So let's have a look at the example. H&M has one of the largest Instagram followings of any fashion brand on social media today, and this is because their influencer campaign with women who reflect H&M style all by themselves. Here you can see fashion blogger Julie Sarignana, and this girl and model Ella Weldon are two influencers with whom H&M partnered for its fall 2017 catalog. Julie loved the clothing so much that she decided to promote it from her own Instagram. And of course, H&M had a great success from this. I think the number of followers grew and grew each day. So you have several ways to find the influencers using Combine app. First of all, you can do it through user search. You can pick user search, then users list, and type in your competitors' usernames. I typed here about 9 usernames, but you can obviously type as many as you wish. Then just sort the received result by the number of followers. Those at the top will be the influencers you need to work with. Also, you can use search by posts. You can type in accounts, hashtags, location relevant to you. I already showed you how search by hashtag work, so now I decided to show you how location works instead. So let it be Los Angeles without any hashtags at all. So after that, you click find, and when you see the results, just sort them by the number of likes or comments, then look up the post uploaders' profiles, and then decide who you want to work with. Remember one thing, it's necessary to sort the results in both cases by number of followers, likes, or comments. Instagram accounts appearing at the very top after sorting are your potential influencers. But before working with any of the influencer found, take some time to truly research them and their social media presence. Because beyond these follower numbers, are they getting enough engagement on their post? And does their audience actually care about what these influencers say and what they post? Research what other brands have they collaborated with and what were these campaigns like. And last but not least, are they truly authentic? Okay, let's go to the next tip. Next tip is my favorite one because it is all about engagement. Because all the social media on any channel, let it be Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram, social media is all about engagement, not about the numbers. And you'd be surprised how many companies searching for Instagram growth just forget this simple social part of social media marketing. Posting the right content constantly and at the right time, will attract more attention from your target audience, yes, but it's the conversations you have with those people that turn these casual visitors into brand advocates and really loyal fans. Liking a comment, answering a question, or even responding to a direct message, this all help you build deeper relationships with your followers. In fact, according to some statistics, answering consumer questions on social media drives 49% of fans to purchase, almost 50. Not only it is very demanding to create original content every day, it's also a more solitary experience just posting one's own content. In order to grow your community, curate content from accounts that you find inspirational and you find relevant. And also, it's a great idea to repost user-generated content. Let's have a look at this example. Starbucks always regrams their community content. And you see, it's a great way of showing the brand's appreciation for its audience. I'm sure you do not want to be known as the Fuzzy Daddy brand on Instagram. Other than that, it's a platform that allows brands to experiment. So take the risk, try new features, be bold, and experiment with stories, Instagram Live, any new features like question sticker that they launch. Constantly find new ways to engage. Ask questions in your stories. Ask users to comment their thoughts on a new product. Your audience wants you to be a relevant brand, so be it. Look at Forever 21. Forever 21 experiments with many Instagram tools in their stories, like the question sticker in this example. Look how bright their stories are, how engaging they are. And now it's time for the second poll.
Beautiful. So I'm going to launch the poll up real quick again, and we'll go ahead and read it. What way of interacting do you usually prefer? Liking, commenting, follow, unfollow technique, or other? Again, what way of interacting do you prefer? And we're gonna put this from the stance of you're building an account, you're a business, right? Not just a private user who's poking around and interacting, right? So as a company, as a business, you're either liking, commenting, follow, unfollow technique, or other. Again, we'll give a couple minutes for people to vote, and we will go ahead and close out the poll now, and I'll share the results. Pretty heavily between liking and commenting, which makes sense. I mean, that seems like a pretty easy kind of direct way of engaging, and it feels probably a little less gray area as maybe the unfollow and follow technique, even though that works really well. So anyway, I'll hide the results now and we'll continue on.
Yeah, I also prefer liking, by the way. So let's proceed. Combine allows you interacting with search results through the following ways. You can leave single and mass likes to posts. For this, just pick one or several particular accounts that Combine has found by clicking on them, and then click the like button at the bottom of the application window. You can mass like all the posts found by selecting all and then also clicking like button. You can also easily leave single comments to posts. Pick one or several found accounts or posts, click the comment icon at the bottom of the application window, and then type in the comment. You can also leave mass comments by selecting all results, hitting the comment button, and typing in the text of the comment. So you can easily create a number of comment templates by pushing plus button when adding a comment. And then Combine will randomly leave the comments to the chosen post that would look a lot more realistic. And of course, you can easily follow the authors of found posts or found accounts themselves. Do this by picking one, several, or all search results and clicking the follow button. So please do not forget that it's extremely important to be really socially engaged. It's important to respond to all of your comments and take some time from your busy day to reach out to your followers yourself. Once in a week or once in a fortnight, go and like or comment on your followers' post. You can easily do it with Combine just as one click, but I will not show you this today, so just for you to know. Also, if you are constantly interacting with your audience, Instagram will start pushing your content to their feeds. If your content is good, they will like and comment back. So when you have good engagement, Instagram starts to promote your content in top post section and explore feed as well. So keep that in mind. It's not only about accumulating as many new followers as possible. It's not about numbers. It's also about building strong, long-lasting relationships with your followers. So please do not forget to pay some attention to your followers. So go liking, commenting on their posts, as I said earlier. Okay, and the last tip for today, enjoy the journey and keep it casual. Just think, you are on the platform that is fun, that is light, casual, and entertaining. If there is one place that your light side can shine, this is it. So embrace that avatar and have fun with your content, your brand, your audience, your followers. An example can be here in Old Spice. Old Spice is one of my favorite accounts on Instagram because Old Spice always makes its messaging colorful, bold, and fun. And it really should be fun doing these things, because building something of meaning is just worth it. It's not only going to make you happier, but it's also going to connect you with so many like-minded people all over the world, and it's going to give you clear goals in life, and even your day job will probably feel better because you're doing something really meaningful. And today I'd like to finish my presentation with a quote I find especially meaningful nowadays. A true community is not just about being geographically close to someone or part of the same social network. It's about feeling connected and responsible for what happens. Humanity is our ultimate community, and everyone plays a crucial role. So now, in a world of algorithms, hashtags, and followers, know and remember the importance of human connections. So be yourself and keep it casual. Thank you for your attention.
Great job, Anne. Really, really good information there. I really liked one of my favorites was tip 2, which was talking about finding users directly and going in and following them and just commenting and stuff like that and getting in and liking. I thought that was really interesting. There's quite a few questions that have come in. I do want to kind of real quick just mention that on June 12th we will have another webinar, our next one, which will be how to manage and maximize content creation on a large scale. We have Lauren, and we have from Scribble Live, and we have Michaela from Autodesk going to be joining us and talking about that topic. So definitely mark your calendars, definitely get registered for that. But without any further ado, let's kind of dive into the Q&A and talk a little bit about some different
Let's open up for
specifics.
Q&A.
So first question I have is somebody has asked the question, my target audience is typically elders, 50 plus, let's just put a number and not call them elders because some people might be sensitive to that, but 50 plus, how relevant is Instagram to a mature audience? Is there an audience for 50 plus and older?
Oh, well, to answer this question, I think we need to think about the kind of account you have. So it may be a clothing boutique. It may be, you may be budding makeup artist, or you may be doing something that is really interesting for this, as you said, mature audience. I think it depends on kind of your account and on the country you live in, because as you know, for example, in Russia, Instagram became popular, very popular. So to work on it, to sell products just 2-3 years ago. But I think that in Europe or in the USA, the Instagram became popular and using it in that way even early. So I think it depends on the country you live in, on the business you have, and on the goals you want to reach.
So also you could probably go and look at some competitors too, right? So for instance, if you
Of
have,
course.
if you know that you're in a space that you probably have done competitive research and know what some of the other businesses who are either competitors to the same audience or who are serving a similar audience like AARP or some of these other accounts. And if you were to look at AARP or any of those accounts on Instagram, you would probably get a sense for this is an account that really only seniors or 50 plus people would look at. And what kind of audience do they have, and what kind of engagement do they have, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely. So a couple questions about Kanban, and I had one that I wanted to ask in there because I haven't seen any tools out there with this, but it's something that has started to really come over Instagram, and that's the concept of making your account private so that people have to follow your account in order to see the post, right? So a lot of people will build up an account, get it a little bit popular, turn it private, and then get a lot of people to share their content so that when they come and look at the content, they're like forced to sign, to follow. And you probably see that a lot. People are tagging you and you go to look at the post and it's private. You're like, oh man, I gotta sign up to another one. Does Kanban have, or is it something in the roadmap to auto approve the requests? Because some of these accounts get like 5,000 requests a day, when they get big, and there's no tool out there that's auto approving those requests so that somebody doesn't have to go in and click okay.
Oh,
You guys have that,
unfortunately, no, Kanban does not have this feature. And we are also having Q&A sessions at our YouTube page, and no one even asked me that question. No one even offered to introduce this feature. So thank you for the idea. I will tell it tomorrow to my developers.
Awesome. Some of the programs out there, some people have asked in the questions, is your tool capable of supporting multiple accounts? And well, let's ask that. Do you guys support multiple accounts?
Yeah, we support multiple accounts. With Combin, you can manage up to 15 accounts simultaneously from one computer.
Awesome. And I'm just going to keep asking some of these questions because I know these are things that, either you might want to take back or that might want to know. But can you post video through the web interaction, or is it image and content only?
You mean to post videos through Combin?
Yeah, through Common, because I know that a lot of the apps that are web-based do not allow video upload. Some of them don't. They have you can only do images. So I didn't know if you guys allowed video content to be published as well.
You cannot post yourself through Combin, but if we are speaking about search results, you can see and videos and photos, but you can post nothing through Combin.
Okay, good. Good, gotcha. So it's more just it's not management as much as it is intelligence and research.
Yeah.
Gotcha, perfect. One other question that came up is we were talking earlier about mass commenting or mass liking, right? Being able to click all and like all the posts at the same time. Is there a way to throttle the activity through Kanban so that you're saying do 5 per hour, 10 per hour, or something like that, so that you can avoid kind of any detection from Instagram? And do you have any concerns? Is there any problems with liking a whole bunch of posts on a mass scale for Instagram? Do they monitor that? Is there a worry? And is there a way of setting it to slow down?
Yeah, actually, this is the thing that is really worth speaking about. I think you know that there are many, many apps nowadays that provide these bots, mass liking, mass following, mass commenting. But why choose Combin? Combin works in accordance with Instagram hourly and daily limits. So, for example, you set the task to like 1,000 people. And let's think that your Instagram limit is only 100. So when Combin reaches this limit, it stops or pauses the actions, and you'll see a message from Combin that your daily or hourly limits were reached. So the action is paused, and as soon as Combin gets the, so to speak, answer from Instagram that Combin can go on, Combin just continues doing the task. So with Combin, you are absolutely safe and sound because you do not need to sit here and look in your monitor and just think, oh my God, I will be blocked now if I like for more than 100 people in once. So you just need to set the task and Combin will do anything for you. So when you reach the limit, Combin pauses. When Instagram allows you to continue the action, Combin continues it itself. So no way to get blocked or no way to get flagged.
Another question's coming through about Kanban. Is it compatible with languages that have special characters such as Japanese, Korean, Russian?
Yes, Combin is compatible with these languages.
Perfect, perfect. Another question, you were saying that there's no publishing through Kanban, or there is publishing. Can you schedule publishing, or is it just for intelligence? I'm sorry.
No scheduling through Combin, but our team is getting ready for introducing a new product scheduler. So I think it will be the next month.
Perfect, perfect. Pricing page says business account has 5 IG and there is 10 more accounts purchase option. What is the option? It does not say on the pricing page. I guess they're asking what the pricing option is for the 10 more accounts.
Oh, you can check the pricing on our official website. It is, just have a look at it.
Okay. Okay. Some people have brought up questions that I'm going to summarize into. A lot of this can become mechanical in the sense that, you're putting in a comment like great post, and then you see like 20 or 30 great post comments going out from the same account. It can start to look very robotic, right? How do you avoid, making it look like it's not a human? How do you keep that human element when you're doing mass commenting?
Okay, if we're speaking about mass commenting, I don't know if you were there when I was showing Combin in action about this mass commenting feature. You can create as many templates as you wish, and all these templates will be, of course, different. And you can use also the templates that our team has already created for you. So the logic is simple here. The more templates you create, the less suspicious you look on Instagram. And here is one more thing to speak about. It all depends on your Instagram strategy. Just if you use comment, for example, only for commenting, of course, it will look a little bit suspicious. But if you mix up those strategies like liking, commenting, for example, you do commenting only 3 times in a week. So I think there is no chance to look suspicious, to look like a bot or something like that. And also in Combin, I forgot to tell you guys, in Combin there is a very cool feature. There is task intensity mode. So it can be safe, it can be optimal, or it can be risky. So if you are very, very, very worried about your Instagram account, about being flagged, about being blocked, you can always turn your activity to safe mode, to task intensity mode to safe, and the action will be proceeded even slower than in optimal mode. So you will be 1,000,000% safe and sound.
Perfect, perfect. And I'm guessing all of that is based on the knowledge of, an account that has less than 500 followers can only do so much activity before you. I mean, obviously you can't add 500 people a day when you have only 500 people, right? Like 2 days in. So that's a way of scaling. So if you're starting out, I would, especially with a brand new account, I would highly recommend people go on the slow side. It's always
Yeah,
good to
yeah,
kind of start out a little slow. And then once you get confident, just think about like balancing the view, right? It's like a
yeah.
brand new account's not going to come on and just follow, unfollow 500 people a day and comment 200 times and like 300 times, every single day one, right? So think about that as an option for kind of slow growing some of
Yeah,
your
yeah.
accounts out.
And also, Brand, I wanted to take one more minute. Now I want to reveal a small secret to the audience that is listening to me now. So, as I have already said, Combin works in accordance with these Instagram limits. And what are these Instagram limits actually? What are they? So these limits, as you said, yeah, they depend on many factors as date of registration, number of followers, your daily activity, and many, many other factors. So if you just created your account a few days ago, you cannot just like as many people as you wish, because it will really look suspicious. But if you created your account long way ago, you were always active and engaging on Instagram, and you have a really nice number of followers, for example, from 500, it will be great. So you can start and you can start promoting your account on very high rates.
Perfect. Yeah, absolutely. That's really good information. And I think it's important for people to understand that going in to kind of slow, take it easy,
Yeah,
learn. Spend the time learning who you're following and stuff like that, and really get into
yeah,
all of
that's right.
that. Is there anything in commenting that you have seen that should be avoided? Like, for instance, like, what if you accidentally put a bunch of smileys and then it's somebody's post about them losing their dog and all of a sudden it's got a whole bunch of smiles? Like, is there any way of really monitoring or managing the automation of kind of a lot of commenting, but not accidentally doing something that's going to hurt your brand?
I think that the most suspicious thing for Instagram about commenting is, of course, using smiles and emoji. And also these typical comments like, what a shoot, what a nice picture, and one more important thing about commenting, you should never make templates like, come on, check your direct messages, or come on, let's go to my page, I have something interesting here. No way, forget about these templates. So no smiles, no emoji, no typical comments, and no direct call to action, please. Try to be a little bit creative. When you are thinking about comment you are going to post, just think what comment would attract your attention. So what comment would be interesting for you? What comment would make you want to visit the page of the account that posted that comment under your photo? Just think about yourself and then make really something creative, really something interesting, something engaging.
And you said something at the beginning, which I think is worth repeating right now, and I think it's important for everybody to really grasp this in marketing today. Those days of really kind of taking the bare minimum approach to your marketing online are over, and they've been over for a while. And so you made a comment early on that said, brands, there are not a lot of brands are using Instagram correctly. And I think that's a
Yeah.
really important thing to emphasize right here is taking the time to really find the right comments, to research, to make the engagement meaningful. This takes time, this takes energy. But if you're not doing these things, then you're not building a meaningful account. You're not representing your brand well, and you're not going to have the success that you really want. So definitely have to take the time to really think about the quality and do things right going forward. If you haven't been doing that until this point, then take today as a point of saying, I need to do better every day going forward. But those days of mass commenting, they really just don't work anymore. So I would just throw that in there.
Absolutely agree.
Question came up. A company is specifically using Instagram with the hope and initiative of driving traffic back to their website, rather than trying to sell a particular product. We see this a lot. Everybody wants to be on the new social platform, but as we know, each social platform is really geared towards a different sort of audience in a different sort of way. And Instagram is very visual. We ran into this, a lot of publishers run into this. Oh, well, I don't really want to I can't tell my story. I can throw an image up, but I need them to come back to my website to get my content. And so there's a lot of people doing this. And the question is, how do you adjust and how do you represent your content on Instagram when you know your goal is to get somebody to leave Instagram and come back to your site?
So I think that the best way to show your content here is the advice is about being creative. So for you, if you don't need to sell anything, it will be even easier. So just make fun out of it. It should be fun doing all these things because you are doing really something something meaningful. So try to be creative with stories. Try to go live as often as it's possible. Show backstage. Show some things that that other brands pretend not to show. So I don't know. I'm not now speaking about your mistakes or some fails, but show your behind the scenes way of life. So show them something that they do not expect you to show, and be creative. Try to introduce something new every month, and I think people will like your page and they will have fun when visiting your page. Their mood will get better, and so I think it's a great way to success.
Yeah, I mean, and another comment I would throw in there is Twitter has the same problem where Twitter's really hard to get people to click through because the use case is different, right? People are looking to spend a couple minutes. They're not really looking to leave the site. They're looking to get information. So there's a lot of tactics that you have to pull in with, like, again, don't use like fake clickbait titles, but definitely focusing in on what content is important, what is interesting, give enough to get people excited, and then tell them, there's a link. I think there's a couple tools out there that do like profile link adjustments so that you can quickly adjust your profile link so that you can always reference people to go back to my profile page, the links in my profile page, because that's the only place you can really have a link, right? Is there any other tactics to get people to leave? I mean, I know you can, if you don't have to sell a product, you could do things that are fun, but what if your boss is like, you've got to get traffic off of Instagram. If I don't see 2,000 visits coming from Instagram, then you're not doing your job. Is there any way to really, that you know of, to really kind of set up posts? Is there any post types that work for driving traffic off Instagram?
I also think that it depends on kind of business you have, on kind of account you have, on kind of goals you set in front of you. So it depends, everything depends on you and on how you are seeing these prospects. I only can give you some advices from my point of view, but that doesn't mean that my advice will work for your business. So one advice that I can tell you for sure is to be authentic. So not to buy anything, not to buy bots, not to buy likes, and to be consistent. So post not little, post not much, and choose. Check your Instagram business statistics and choose the time for posting. Choose your best time. Find your best audience. Check your business statistics on Instagram and see what posts your audience like the most. For example, if it is some informative post, so post more informative posts. Or if it is quotes or some funny pictures, do these more in your stories, not in your feed, in your stories. And you will see the results. So it is kind of cut and try method, as we were talking about at the beginning. So until you try, you will not understand what works is for you, what works the best for you. So try. If it doesn't work, then change your strategy. If it doesn't work again, change, and I'm sure at the beginning you will find the best way that works for your Instagram account.
Yeah, and one more comment I'll throw in there as well, as I mentioned this before, just do your research. I mean, honestly, go and look at competitors, go look at people who are trying to do the same thing. There's a lot of publishers out there. There's a lot of companies out there that are using Instagram and driving traffic back to the website. Do some searches, like, case studies for driving traffic from Instagram. How to drive traffic from Instagram. Look at some of the case studies that people have put out there, some of the examples, and then go look at those pages on Instagram and start reviewing the tactics that they're using and look for which ones are getting the most engagement. And then you can test it yourself with analytics and say, okay, when I did this type of post, it worked the best, and you can kind of use that as a way of learning. So definitely do some research on it.
Yeah.
Do you guys have, or do you have any recommendation of any guides, tutorials, anything like that? Do you have various, resources on the Kanban site that kind of guide people through these different tactics and these different benefits? Is there one that's open to all, or is it one that's private, for members? What do you guys have for resources?
As for resources, let's speak first about the webinars. We started go live back to December 2018, and since then we have about 10 webinars. So here you can get enough of tips, hacks, recommendations, not only about using Kanban, but also about Instagram. So some Instagram for business tips, again, hacks, recommendations. Also, I had a webinar dedicated to write hashtag strategy. And as for other resources on other website, we have open for everyone Kanban blog, where all these useful posts are being posted every week. Also, we have Reddit, also we have Twitter, and there are a lot of links to some useful information, to new up-to-date articles, and so on. So you can always find something really worth your attention, really worth your time on our blogs or on some other sources.
Perfect. And that's just, Kanban.com, right, is the site, correct?
Yeah, Kanban.com.
Perfect. And then from there you have, I can tell you, I've looked at the site. They have the links to their YouTube, to their Reddit, and everything right off the site. So you can go to the YouTube easily, and you can see all those webinars. I watched a lot of them myself in preparation, so they're very, very good, and they walk through a lot of the features. So definitely check them out. Another question we have here. I'm not 100% sure what this means. So if you don't necessarily know what it means, then let's ask the person who put the question in to maybe elaborate. But is it possible to run Kanban and sponsored ads at the same time? Also, is there a report in Kanban where you can check how many people followed back from the actions you made? So let's separate those up. The part that I don't understand is the run Kanban and sponsored ads at the same time. I can't imagine there would be a conflict. I don't know if they're asking, can you run sponsored ads through Kanban, or does it have a limit concern, or I don't necessarily know what that means 100%. So if the person asking doesn't mind elaborating on that part, maybe we can address the part about reporting through Kanban on how many people followed back from the actions made within Kanban.
Okay. I'll put a little comment on the first part first. So run Kanban and sponsored ads. If we speak about this about Combine and sponsors ads separately, then yes, I also do not see any problem in running Combine and sponsored ads, or in running Combine and some other app and some other app and some other app and sponsored ads. So no problem. If you speak about running Combine sponsored ads through running Combine, then no, it's not possible, unfortunately. And about report in Combine, where you can check how many people followed back from the actions made via Combine. Yeah, we have a separate tab in Combine. It is called Statistics tab, and here you can see how your Instagram strategy works. You can see the number of followers, the number of likes, the number of comments left. You can also specify the time, so you can see the number of likes left for your account in last week, last 30 days, also last day, so yesterday. And you can also see the number of actions done through Combine. It's also very useful information, because when you see how many actions were done through Combine, for example, yesterday, and after that you check in a week's time, you see that this number is getting bigger or is getting less. So if it is getting bigger, then your Instagram limits are increasing, because if you are doing more and more actions on Instagram, your Instagram limits also getting higher and higher. And if your Instagram limits in Combine getting less, you will see that less actions are possible to do through Combine. So it's time, then it will be kind of sign that you need to change something, because Instagram thinks you are a little bit suspicious. So yes, we have a statistics tab, and you can see all the actions on the numbers here.
Perfect, beautiful. How about Instagram for B2B? We talked about people who are like publishers and they want people to come to their site. Even that's not really what Instagram's about, right? It's really tough to do that, and that's why they don't have the features to allow you to do that. How about B2B? How do you approach Instagram when you're a B2B business?
Oh, well, I think that B2B, as any other kind of business, it's a quite great idea to develop this kind of business on Instagram. And again, the tips, actionable tips that I can give you now is to use authentic, real-time, user-generated content, or get really involved in your niche, and also make the most of the link in your bio. So bio is a very important part for you if you are talking about B2B business, because bio, it is actually the first thing that people look at when they visit your profile. Your bio is the perfect real estate for a link to your latest blog post or to your offers and so on. So get most out of your bio link. And stay away from vanity metrics, because vanity metrics do not tell the whole story. So be unique, be inclusive, and get your business exploring.
Awesome. And then, again, Instagram is social media. So this is the same question that was asked by every B2B marketer with Twitter. And it's the same question that every B2B marketer asked for Facebook. And ultimately it comes down to people are on all of these sites and people are influenced in multiple different ways. Your opportunity for influence is not only when somebody says, I need 3,000, quantity of a specific item. They're interacting, they're participating, and a lot of times you have the opportunity just through Facebook, through Twitter, through any of these sites to be relevant, with your content. So again, look at your competitors and really remember that this is something that most people have written a lot about. Even if it's about Facebook, the concepts are still going to be very, very similar in how you're going to pick your content, how you're going to, find your audience. So, definitely learn those specifics and then use Combine to find the people and find the engagement, right? So the strategy is the same for all of social in some sense. Just remember, Instagram is very visual. So think about that. I think we have one. Right. Let's see, we have another question. This was asked, but it's a quantification of a question. We had asked, can you have multiple accounts? And you had said, yes, we can have up to 15 accounts. Their question is, do you have those 15 accounts under one login, or do you have one Instagram for every one Combine account? Do you have to make a bunch of Combine accounts, or is it all through one login?
Yeah, so as I have said earlier, you can use all these 15 accounts under one combined license. So you buy a license for managing 15 accounts and then use it from one computer. If you want to manage more than 15 accounts, it's also possible, but you will need to buy another license and to use another computer.
Gotcha. Perfect. So all through one login. You don't have to have a whole bunch of logins. You can just log in at all 15 accounts and manage them. Perfect. Influencer marketing is something very interesting right now. And one of the things that is interesting about it is how effective it has been at really driving influence, right? And I can talk for hours about like why that is, but let's just, you know, accept the fact that the influencers who use social media as a lens into their life. So they're representing themselves through social media. They're not using it as a channel to advertise only, but they're really showing their lives, right? Have the same kind of influence that a friend would have. And that's because of the usage of smartphones and a lot of other things have kind of blurred the lines for who do we really, really know and who are we just following, and the messaging's all the same, and so we listen to it the same. So knowing that influencers work, but knowing that they're not all effective, and you talked about, look, go find the users in common based on their followers, but don't just pick them right by that. Go look and say, are they posting in a way that's, beneficial to their brand? Are they posting in a way? Can you go a little deeper and say, what does it look like for an influencer that's doing it right? Like, what should we be looking for when we're looking for them to be authentic, when we're looking for them to be engaged? Do they have to respond every day? Do they have to post stories every day? Do they need to show their errors? Like, what are the things that would be signs for you that this is a good influencer?
Well, the first thing I need to tell now, it's all about engagement on their post. So look at the number of followers that your potential influencer has, and then compare it with the number of likes or comments. For example, a person can have up to 10,000 followers on Instagram and only about 100 likes under each post, and no comments at all, or one or two. Of course, it's a sign that many of his or her followers are bots. So just compare the numbers. Also, check if the audience actually cares about what this potential influencer does on his profile. So from time to time, true influencers post some screenshots of their direct messages when the people or the audience send the messages like, oh, thank you for this, or thank you for that, I'm really inspired by your account, or something like that. So if you see this in your potential influencer stories, you can understand that this influencer is really authentic. Also check if this potential influencer has already collaborated with somebody in the past. So check his account more thoroughly, look at the photos he or she was tagged in, and make your conclusion. Also, as far as I remember, there is such an app or a website, I don't remember. It's called Hype Auditor, as I think, yeah. So here you can type in the account username, and it will analyze the account, all the statistics, all these numbers of likes, comments, number of followers and followings, and it will show you the percentage, the right percent of an engagement rate. So if it is less than 15, so do not even think about collaboration. I think there are a lot of other resources that can help you to really check if this influencer is worth your attention and is worth working with. So just go Google it, and I think you will find the right information on that question.
Perfect. One thing I'll throw out there as well, just to kind of cap that off in case you're not into the tools or you don't, whatever. You can pretty much go and look at any account, and you can determine, their engagement ratio, like so their value per engaged user, right? So let's say you go to account, look at the last 30 days, and say they have an 8% engagement ratio on their normal posts on average. And if you look at any of the ones that we're advertising and you calculate what's that percentage of engagement on the advertisements that they're putting out there, maybe you see like a 6%, right? So their engagement 6 to 8%, right? So you can say what's 6, maybe meet in the middle and say 7%. What's 7% of their audience? So your likely potential engaged audience is X number of users based on that 7% of their total users. You can go and use metrics like your PPC or your advertising campaigns that will show you, for us to get a conversion, we needed 100 views. So an engaged view, you can kind of say 100 equals this value. How much am I willing to spend per engaged view based on PPC or those other statistics? And then you can compare that to what's the engaged value per user for this influencer's account. And you might find that it comes out to like, oh, well, the value is 40 cents per engaged user. How much are they charging? They want 50 cents. It's too much for my value. My value is 40, they want 50 cents. I can't do that. Or I need to negotiate them down below 40 cents. So you can use that kind of calculation to determine a good user. But remember, somebody who has 1,000 followers and 100 of those people are engaged is just as valuable for you as a person that has 10,000 followers and still only 100 users engaging. So really the engagement value is the metric that you kind of want to look at for determining whether or not it's worth advertising with this influencer.
Yeah.
And I think with that, we've run out of questions, which is great in my opinion, because that means we've asked all the questions that people had. And so everybody who wanted to get some more information did. Just remember, again, Kanban has, on Kanban.com, they have a number of great resources in there through their YouTube videos and so forth. Clearly, the tool is a great tool, so you should check it out. And other than that, I want to say, Anne, thank you so much for coming on and really sharing a lot of this information. I know that this is something people are struggling with right now, and it's something that they're realizing we have to be on Instagram. And so I think this is really helpful for people who are looking to kind of get into the growth of their influencer account or their Instagram account themselves. And I think it's a really great resource. So I want to say thanks for coming on and sharing with us.
Thank you very much, Bran, and thank you all the audience. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for joining me today. It was a great pleasure to tell about all these tips to you right now.
Awesome. Please stick around for the survey, and please remember, we are going to post all of this stuff in a recap post soon on Search Engine Journal, so check it out, share it with your friends, let people know about the information that you learned, and we appreciate you all. Thank you. Have a great day.